In today's video, we're going to be discussing JavaScript variables and the different types that you can use. The word variable just means that anything can vary or change. To put it simply, you can think of these variables as containers. You use these variables to store data for later use. We can declare a variable by using the var keyword, and then I'll use something like x, and then I'll give it a value of 5 followed by a semicolon. Then I'll save that. Now before I talk about the different types of variables that you can find, I wanted to talk about what is going on here. So right now, we have declared that we're about to use a variable by using the var keyword over here. The X that follows it is known as the identifier. This identifier can be any name you would like to use. It does not have to be an X. Your identifier should be something unique or more descriptive so you know exactly what this variable is meant to contain or do in your code. For example, if you wanted to store a user's age, instead of using the letter X like I have, you'd use something like age as your variable name. I will leave some general rules you can follow when naming variables on the screen for a bit, which you can pause and take a look at. Following the X is an equal sign. This is known as the assignment operator. What this basically means is that we assign the variable X with the value of 5. Then after the assignment operator, there are many data types that you can use, but in our case, we're using a number. After each statement in JavaScript of declaring and assigning a value to a variable, you should always follow it with a semicolon at the end, otherwise your code will get errors when you try to run it. We've already used the first type of variable known as var. There's nothing much more that I can add to it besides that var used to be the only way to declare variables in JavaScript. Now there are more ways, but discussing the pros and cons for each is a topic for another video. You can use all these ways to declare variables though. The second way you can declare a variable is just to replace this var keyword with let, and it should do the same thing. Let is a more modern way to write out variables, but I do know that some older browsers may need to use var instead, but you should be in the clear with using let instead. Now the third way to declare a variable is known as const. So you just replace let or var over here with the word const, and it should save that. Now the difference here is that you're telling your code that this variable does not change and should remain constant. And in some cases that I've seen, whenever you declare a constant variable, usually the identifier over here should be in all caps as well, just to show that it's constant. But then again, not everybody does this and it's not a requirement. Right now what we have is that we've declared a variable and assigned a value to it. However, you don't have to do this immediately. You can declare a variable first, then assign it a value later. The way this works is that we can use the keyword var. Then over here we can write username and then we follow by semicolon. Now we can save this. We have declared a variable without a value, so right now it is undefined. And what you'll notice here with my variable is that I've made this a capital letter. This is known as camel casing. This is where you combine two words but you make the first letter of the next word a capital letter. It makes the code more readable and easier to navigate. If you wanted to then assign a value to this variable, all you would need to do later in your code somewhere is just to write its name again. Oops, sorry about that. Then over here you can just use the assignment operator and then give it a value that you want and then semicolon. Now this should work the same way, it's just that it's on different lines. You could also declare multiple variables on one line before using them. So for an example, you can separate these by a comma and then you can say user age. And now you can save this and then assign a value to it later. So I'm going to go down here and then give a user age an age of maybe 31. And then if you wanted to see this on your console, all you gotta do is say console.log. And then in these brackets, you need to write the variable name. So I'm just going to write user age and then semicolon at the end. And if we save this, our console should update with the age of our variable. So user age is 31 and you see 31 over there. That's about it when it comes to variables in JavaScript. Just remember to follow the general rules we had up earlier, and there should be some in the description below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it somewhat helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them down below and I'll answer them as best as I can. With that, I'll see you guys in the next one.